Hello everyone and welcome to today's session on multiple choice questions based on pharmaceutical jurisprudence. This is the first part of the session. I would be uploading the next part very soon. In this session, we are going to discuss all the topics except Drug and Cosmetic Act. Okay, so we would be quickly going through this. So first of all, we would be discussing about the multiple choice questions that are based on pharmaceutical legislation in India. The purpose of pharmaceutical legislation is to achieve adequate production, raise the status and profession of pharmacy, ensure that patients receive drugs of required quality, tested and evaluated for safety as well as efficacy for their intended use, or none of the above. The correct answer in this case is ensure that patients receive drugs of required quality, tested and evaluated for safety as well as efficacy for their intended use. The next question is, the first chemist shop was opened by Mr. Smith Steen Street in 1821, Mr. Badgate in 1811, Mr. Smith Steen Street in 1811, or Mr. Badgate in 1821. The correct answer is Mr. Badgate in 1811. Apothecary shop was started by Mr. Smith Steen Street in 1821, Mr. Badgate in 1811, Mr. Smith Steen Street in 1811, or Mr. Badgate in 1821. The correct answer is Mr. Smith Steen Street in 1821. Bengal Chemicals and Pharmaceutical Works was started by Professor T.K. Gajjar in 1901, Acharya Praful Chandra Ray in 1903, Professor T.K. Gajjar in 1903, or Acharya Praful Chandra Ray in 1901. The correct answer is Acharya Praful Chandra Ray in 1901. Drug Enquiry Committee, that is also called as DEC Committee, was established under the chairmanship of Lieutenant Colonel R.N. Chopra in 1911, 1920, 1931, or 1940. The correct answer over here is 1931. See, even the name of the person, okay, that is Lieutenant Colonel R.N. Chopra. It can be asked in the form of an multiple choice question. So you need to remember this name along with the year. Import of drug bill was introduced in 1934, 1937, 1941, 1948. The correct answer is 1937. Drug bill was introduced in 1940, 1930, 1942, 1932. The correct answer is 1940. Drug bill was introduced in 1940. Now, the next question is, following are the recommendations of DEC. Now, what is DEC? It is Drug Enquiry Committee. Formation of Central Pharmacy Council and State Pharmacy Council. Establishment of drug control machinery. Establishment of Central Drug Laboratory, or all of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. Basically, Drug Enquiry Committee had given around 90 recommendations, 90 recommendations. Out of those, these are the 3 most important recommendations that were given. Now, moving to the next topic, that is multiple choice questions based on pharmaceutical laws and ethics. Basically, the first question that comes into our mind is, what is ethics? So, is it rules of human conduct binding on all persons of state or a nation, or rules by which a profession regulates its action and sets standards for all its members, or it is both of the above or none of the above? See, if we are going to deal with ethics and laws, we need to understand that laws are the rules. Basically, these are binding to all people. Okay, whereas ethics, these would be rules that a particular profession, it would be regulating. Okay, that a particular profession, it can set and it can say, okay, these are the rules and you need to abide those when you are working in this profession. So basically, ethics would be the rules by which a profession regulates its action and it sets standards for all its members. So each and every member who is within that particular profession, he needs to follow these set of rules. Okay, so it would be termed as ethics. If law is violated, what happens? Violator is subjected to loss of professional privilege. Violator is subjected to fine or imprisonment or both of these or none of the above. Basically, if a law is violated, what happens is a person, regardless of any profession, okay, irrespective of any profession, what is going to happen in the first case? The violator, okay, the person who has broken the law or who has breached the law, he would be subjected to a fine or imprisonment, or in certain severe cases, it might be both. So the correct answer in this case would be violator is subjected to fine or imprisonment or both. What code of ethics a pharmacist must follow? Pharmacist in relation to his job, pharmacist in relation to trade, pharmacist in relation to his own profession, or all of the above? The correct answer is all of the above. Handling of prescription is a part of ethics that is related to pharmacist in relation to his job, pharmacist in relation to trade, pharmacist in relation to his own profession, or all of the above. The correct answer is pharmacist in relation to his job. Fair trade practice is a part of ethics related to pharmacist in relation to his job, pharmacist in relation to trade, pharmacist in relation to his own profession, pharmacist in relation to medical profession. The correct answer is pharmacist in relation to trade. Hawking of drugs is prohibited under ethics related to, again, pharmacist in relation to his job, pharmacist in relation to trade, pharmacist in relation to his own profession, or pharmacist in relation to medical profession. The correct answer over here is pharmacist in relation to trade. Pharmacist is a liaison between retailer and public, pharmacist and physician, industry and public, or medical profession or physician and public. Basically, pharmacist, what he does is he is going to give the information about recent formulations or recent drugs to the physician, as well as he is going to work as a person who is going to dispense the medication to the patient. So basically, the right answer in this case would be medical profession or physician and public. So pharmacist will be a liaison between these, medical profession or physician and public. A pharmacist must provide a certificate of completion of practical training to the trainee before completion of prescribed hours of practical training, after completion of prescribed hours of practical training, without completing practical training, or on demand. See, by a set of rules, a pharmacist, he must give a certificate to any trainee, okay, any person who is going to be a registered pharmacist in future, and he has come to him for practical training only after completion of prescribed hours. The prescribed hours basically are 500 hours of practical training. Okay, so if any person he is completing that, he can get a certificate from the person from whom he has taken the training. So the correct answer in this scenario would be after completion of prescribed hours of practical training. Moving to the next topic, that is multiple choice questions based on Poison Act. Poison Act was implemented in the year 1911, 1919, 1921, or 1929. The correct answer is 1919. The main objective of Poison Act was to achieve adequate distribution, to achieve equitable supply, to import poison, to regulate and control import, possession, and sale of poison. The correct answer is to regulate and control import, possession, and sale of poison. According to Poison Act, the central government is authorized to regulate the possession and sale of poison, regulate the import of poison, both 1 and 2, or none of the above. See, if it is going to be central government, it would be dealing with import. So the correct answer in this case would be regulate the import of poison. According to Poison Act, governments, okay, basically state governments are authorized to regulate the import of poison, regulate the possession of poison, regulate the possession for sale and sale of poison, or both 2 and 3. The correct answer in this case would be both 2 and 3. That is, state governments, they are going to regulate the possession of poison and also regulate the possession for sale and sale of poison. Following are the powers of state government: granting license, deciding whom to grant the license, fixing maximum quantity of poison to be sold to a person, or all of the above. So state government has all the rights to grant a license, decide to whom you are going to grant a license, and even fix the maximum quantity of poison that must be given to a person. So the correct answer in this case would be all of the above. Penalty for unlawful importation, possession, and possession for sale of poison for the first conviction is that is, for the first time, if a person is going to do something wrong, what will be the penalty? Imprisonment up to 5 months and fine up to 1,000 rupees, or imprisonment up to 3 months and fine up to 500 rupees, or imprisonment up to 5 months or fine up to 1,000 rupees, or both, depending on the severity of the issue, or imprisonment up to 3 months or fine up to 500 rupees, or both. The correct answer in this case would be imprisonment up to 3 months or fine up to 500 rupees, or both. Penalty for unlawful importation, possession, and possession for sale of poison for the second conviction is, okay, so it must be logical that the penalty would be doubled, okay, in this case. But let's see what options we are having with us. Imprisonment up to 10 months and fine up to 2,000 rupees, imprisonment up to 6 months and fine up to 1,000 rupees, or imprisonment up to 10 months or fine up to 2,000 rupees, or both, imprisonment up to 6 months or fine up to 1,000 rupees, or both. Now let us see. Yeah, the correct answer would be imprisonment up to 6 months or fine up to 1,000 rupees, or both. See, it is a bit simple to understand, and even it is kind of trick. Okay, whenever you are going to get the second conviction, just try to double the penalty. Okay, at least think of it, you can get somewhere closer to the answer. So doubling the penalty in this case works. So imprisonment up to 6 months or fine up to 1,000 rupees, or both, is the right answer in this case. List A poisons are aconite, belladonna, cantharides, or all of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. See, if you want to go For the list of poisons, you can just check out my videos. In that I have given the details, okay, of various poisons that are categorized into different lists. So you can check that. List B poisons are carbolic acids, zinc chloride, chloroform, and all of the above. The correct answer over here is all of the above. Moving to the next topic, that is multiple choice questions based on Drug and Magic Remedies Act 1954. The Drug and Magic Remedies Act came into force in 1914, 1944, 1954, or 1984. The correct answer is 1954. The rules to the Drug and Magic Remedies Act came into force in 1945, 1955, 1985, or 1953. The correct answer is 1955. The Drug and Magic Remedies Act was passed with the main objective to control certain type of advertisements, to prohibit certain type of advertisements related to false claims, both 1 and 2, or none of the above. The correct answer in this case is both 1 and 2. So basically, Magic Remedies Act was passed with the main objective to control certain type of advertisements and to prohibit certain type of advertisements related to false claims. Talisman, Mantra, and Kavach come under misbranded drugs, magic remedies, spurious drugs, or poisonous drugs. The correct answer in this case is magic remedies. Advertisements of prescription drugs are meant for manufacturer, physician, patient, or pharmacist. The correct answer is physician. Basically, whichever advertisements of prescription drugs are given, maybe it might be in the form of leaflets, pamphlets, or information brochures given by medical representatives, or any other information that is given by medical representatives. That would be basically for the physicians, and none of these. Okay. So advertisements of a drug claiming to cure a disease mentioned under Schedule J are exempted, excluded, permitted, or prohibited. So they are basically prohibited. Any advertisements which are going to claim to cure a disease that is mentioned under Schedule J, these would be prohibited advertisements. Advertising the reports of government analysts is prohibited, permitted, exempted, or none of these. The correct answer is prohibited. You can't go on advertising that a particular product of mine has been analyzed by the government analyst and this is the report which claims that it is 100% good. So you can't go for just advertising such things. So it is basically prohibited. Advertisements claiming to cure blindness is a prohibited advertisement, excluded advertisement, approved advertisement, or exempted advertisement. So basically, you can't go for curing blindness, isn't it? And if anyone is going to advertise such things, so it must be immediately brought to the notice of higher authorities. So in this case, the advertisement would be prohibited advertisement. Displayed signboards or notices by a registered medical practitioner in his premises falls under prohibited advertisement, excluded advertisement, approved advertisement, or exempted advertisement. The correct answer in this case is exempted advertisement. Moving to the next topic, that is multiple choice questions based on Narcotic and Psychotropic Substance Act 1985. Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act was passed in 1970, 1857, 1985, 1999. The correct answer is 1985. The main object of Narcotic and Psychotropic Substance Act is to consolidate and amend the laws relating to narcotic drugs, to make stringent provisions for the control and regulation of operations relating to narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances, both 1 and 2, or none of the above. The correct answer is both 1 and 2. A person habitual to regular consumption of any narcotic drug or psychotropic substance is known as guardian, minor, addict, or none of these. The correct answer is addict. Okay, we usually say a person is addicted to this. So you can easily remember if any person is taking drugs continuously, narcotic drugs or psychotropic substances on regular basis, he would be termed as a addict. Cannabis includes charas, ganja, both 1 and 2, none of the above. The correct answer is both 1 and 2. That is, cannabis includes charas and ganja. Coca derivatives include preparations containing less than 0.1% of cocaine, preparations containing less than 0.2% of morphine, preparations containing more than 0.1% of cocaine, and preparations containing more than 0.2% of morphine. See, please keep in mind that the percentage of morphine or cocaine or prepared opium and all these things, these are quite important for you. Okay, these might be asked in exams, so you need to pay more attention to these. The correct answer in this case is coca derivatives include preparations containing more than 0.1% of cocaine. Opium means coagulated juice of opium poppy and its mixture, including preparations containing less than 0.2% cocaine, coagulated juice of opium poppy and its mixture, excluding preparations containing less than 0.2% morphine, coagulated juice of opium poppy and its mixture, excluding preparations containing less than 0.2% of cocaine, and coagulated juice of opium poppy and its mixture, including preparations containing less than 0.2% of morphine. The correct answer in this case is coagulated juice of opium poppy and its mixture, excluding preparations containing less than 0.2% of morphine. Opium derivatives include all preparations containing less than 0.2% of morphine, all preparations containing more than 0.2% of morphine, all preparations containing less than 0.2% of cocaine, or all preparations containing less than 0.2% of cocaine. Okay, so the correct answer over here is all preparations containing more than 0.2% of morphine. Opium derivatives include medicinal opium and prepared opium, phenanthrene alkaloids such as morphine, codeine, thebaine and their salts, diacetyl morphine and their salts, or all of the above. The correct answer in this case is all of the above. Diacetyl morphine is also known as hemp, cannabis, charas, heroin. The correct answer is heroin. Okay, diacetyl morphine is also termed as heroin. Medicinal cannabis is also known as opium, heroin, hemp, or ganja. The correct answer is hemp. Medicinal cannabis is also termed as hemp. Opium poppy includes Plant of Erythroxylon coca, plant of Papaver somniferum, Ecognin, none of the above. The correct answer is plant of Papaver somniferum. Coca derivatives include Ecognin, cocaine, both 1 and 2, none of the above. The correct answer is both 1 and 2. That is, coca derivatives, they include ecognin as well as cocaine. The Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substance Consultative Committee consists of 20 members, 30 members, 40 members, or 50 members. The correct answer is 20 members. Section 8 of this Act permits certain operations related to narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances, or it prohibits certain operations, or it regulates certain operations, or none of the above. The correct answer is it prohibits certain operations related to narcotic and psychotropic substances. Section 9 of this Act permits certain operations, prohibits certain operations, regulates certain operations, or none of the above. The correct answer in this case is it permits certain operations. Section 9 basically permits certain operations related to narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. Punishment for contravention in relation to ganja is rigorous imprisonment for not less than 10 years, which may extend to 20 years, and fine not less than 1 lakh rupees, which may extend to 2 lakh rupees, or rigorous imprisonment for not less than 10 years, which may extend to 20 years, with a fine of not less than 1 lakh rupees, which may extend to 2 lakh rupees, or rigorous imprisonment up to 5 years and fine up to 50,000 rupees, rigorous imprisonment for not less than 5 years or up to 50,000 rupees fine. So the correct answer is rigorous imprisonment up to 5 years and fine up to 50,000 rupees. See, you need to understand that it is and, okay, it is not or. So 5 years as well as 50,000 rupees fine will be the punishment. Punishment for failure to produce license or keeping false accounts is imprisonment up to 10 years or fine or both, imprisonment up to 3 years and fine, imprisonment up to 10 years and fine, imprisonment up to 3 years or fine or both. The correct answer is imprisonment up to 3 years or fine or both. Punishment for illegal possession of small quantity of cocaine, morphine, diacetyl morphine, or other narcotic substances for personal consumption is imprisonment up to 5 years or fine or both, imprisonment up to 1 year or fine or both, imprisonment up to 5 years and fine, or imprisonment up to 1 year and fine. The correct answer is imprisonment up to 1 year or fine or both. Now moving to the next topic, that is multiple choice questions based on Drug Price Control Order 1995. So DPCO, that is Drug Price Control Order 1987, was replaced by 1990, 1995, 1997, or 2000. The DPCO was replaced by DPCO 1995. Drug Price Control Order was passed with the aim to achieve adequate production, secure or regulate equitable distribution, maintain and increase the supplies of bulk drugs and formulations, make these available at fair price, or all of the above. The correct answer in this case is all of the above. While fixing the price of bulk drug, government should take into consideration post-tax return of. See, from this topic, you need to keep in mind these things, the values for bulk drug, okay, all the taxes, and the formula for calculating retail price. Then you must keep in mind what is DPEA, and also at the very same time you need to keep in mind few definitions as like selling price, net worth, and all. Okay, so please pay attention to these things from this topic. 10%, 12%, 14%, or 20%. The correct answer is 14%. That is, while fixing the price of a bulk drug, government shall take into consideration post-tax return of 14%. While fixing the price of bulk drug, government shall take into consideration dash on capital employed. 12%, 20%, 18%, or 22%. The correct answer is 22% of return must be considered on capital employed. For a new plant, the sale price of bulk drug are fixed by government by taking into consideration 10% based on long-term marginal costing, 12% based on long-term marginal costing, 14% based on long-term marginal costing, 20% based on long-term marginal costing. The correct answer is 12% based on long-term marginal costing. For production from basic stage, post-tax return of dash on net worth is considered. 10%, 20%, 8%, or 18%. The correct answer is 18%. A manufacturer who starts production of scheduled bulk drug, he has to furnish details to government within 10 days, 15 days, 30 days, or 60 days. The correct answer is 15 days. Any manufacturer who is going to start the production of scheduled bulk drugs, he needs to give the details of it to the government within 15 days. Formula for calculating retail price of the formulation is RP is equal to MC plus CC plus PM plus PC plus 1 into MAP by 100 plus ED, or RP, that is retail price, is equal to MC plus CC plus PM plus PC into 1 into MAP plus ED by 100, or RP is equal to MC plus CC plus PM plus PC into 1 plus MAP by 100 plus ED, or none of the above. The correct answer in this case is retail price is equal to MC plus CC plus PM plus PC into 1 plus MAP by 100 plus ED. Now RP is retail price, MC is going to be the manufacturing cost, CC is going to be the conversion cost, PM is packing material, PC is packing charges, MAP, that is maximum allowable post manufacturing expenses. Even an MCQ might be asked on full form of MAP. So that is maximum allowable post manufacturing expenses, and ED is excise duty. MAP shall not exceed dash for indigenously manufactured scheduled formulations: 50%, 100%, 70%, 20%. The correct answer is 100%. Loose quantities of any formulation cannot be sold at a price exceeding dash pro rate of formulation. See, if you're going to break up the content, you can sell it, but the quantity or the price of that formulation must not exceed a particular limit. We will just check out what limit it is: 10%, 2%, 5%, or 20%. The correct answer is 5%. You can't go beyond 5%. Okay. Moving to the next topic, that is multiple choice questions based on Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act 1971 and Rules 1975. From this topic, the definitions and the time when a particular physician, means the number of physicians, can terminate the pregnancy is important. Okay, so keep in mind that Medical Termination of Pregnancies Act was passed in 1985, 1975, 1981 or 1971. The correct answer is 1971. Guardian is a person who is minor, a person who is lunatic, a person who has care for minor or lunatic, or none of the above. The correct answer is a person who has care for minor or lunatic. He is termed as a guardian. Minor is a person who has not attained majority under the provisions of Indian Majorities Act 1857, has not attained the majority under the provisions of Indian Majorities Act 1875, has not attained the majority under provisions of Indian Minorities Act 1875, or has not attained the majority under the provisions of Indian Minorities Act 1857. The correct answer is a minor is a person who has not attained the majority under the provisions of Indian Majorities Act 1875. A registered medical practitioner may terminate a pregnancy if it is not less than 20 weeks old, not more than 20 weeks old, not more than 12 weeks old, or none of the above. It is not more than 12 weeks old. See, when you are going to deal with a single registered practitioner, he must terminate a pregnancy which is not more than 12 weeks old. Okay, he has the right to do that. 12 weeks pregnancy can be terminated with the consent of one registered medical practitioner, two registered medical practitioner, three registered medical practitioner, or none of the above. The correct answer is one registered medical practitioner. To terminate pregnancy between 12 to 20 weeks, consent of dash registered practitioner is necessary. That is the number of registered practitioners. Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? The correct answer is 2. So you require the consent of 2 registered medical practitioners when the pregnancy is between 12 to 20 weeks old, and by any virtues a person needs to terminate that. Minimum 2 registered medical practitioner may give the consent of termination of pregnancy when it is not more than 12 weeks old, not more than 20 weeks old, not more than 18 weeks old, or not more than 10 weeks old. The correct answer is not more than 20 weeks old. A registered medical practitioner may terminate a pregnancy if he has completed 3 months of house surgery in gynecology and obstetrics. He has completed 6 months of house surgery in gynecology and obstetrics, or he has completed 1 month of house surgery in gynecology and obstetrics, or he has completed 12 months. So the correct answer over here is he needs to complete at least 6 months of house surgery in gynecology and obstetrics. Places where pregnancy may be terminated is or are government hospitals, a place approved by government for termination of pregnancy under this act, both 1 and 2, none of the above. The correct answer is both 1 and 2. Places approved for termination of pregnancy may be inspected by drug inspector, chief medical officer, that is CMO, registered medical practitioner, or none of the above. The correct answer is chief medical practitioner. Okay, that is chief medical officer, CMO. Moving to the next topic, that is multiple choice questions based on Medicinal and Toilet Preparation Act 1955 and rules. Medicinal and Toilet Preparations Act was passed in 1945, 1956, 1955 or 1946? The correct answer is 1955. The act was passed with the main objective to regulate the production of narcotics, collect duties on excise on medical and toilet preparations containing alcohol, opium, Indian hemp, achieve adequate distribution, or none of the above. The correct answer is collect duties of excise on medicinal and toilet preparations containing alcohol, opium, Indian hemp, and other such things. The premises or any part of premises approved and licensed for the manufacture and storage of medicinal and toilet preparations containing alcohol, opium, Indian hemp, and other narcotic drugs on which duty has not been paid. Okay, keep in mind, duty has not been paid and duty has been paid. That is going to be the difference between bonded and non-bonded laboratories. Okay, so in this case, we are discussing about the duties that have not been paid. Okay, it would be termed as bonded laboratory or non-bonded laboratory or spirit store or warehouse. It is bonded laboratory. In this case, see, whenever bonded laboratory is there, duties are not paid. Okay, well in advance. So again, the premises or any part of premises approved and licensed for manufacture and storage of medicinal and toilet preparations containing alcohol, opium, Indian hemp, and other narcotic drugs on which duty has been paid is called as bonded laboratory, non-bonded laboratory, spirit store, warehouse. The correct answer is non-bonded laboratory. The preparations which are capable of being misused as ordinary alcoholic beverages are called unrestricted preparations, restricted preparations, denatured spirit, or substandard preparations. The correct answer is restricted preparations. The preparations which are not capable of being misused as ordinary alcoholic beverages are called unrestricted preparations, restricted preparations, denatured spirit, or substandard preparations. They are called as unrestricted preparations. A person who desires to manufacture medicinal and toilet preparations must obtain license from Excise Commissioner in case of manufacture in bond, officer authorized by state government in case of manufacture outside bond, both 1 and 2, none of the above. The correct answer is both 1 and 2. Application for grant of license must be submitted to the licensing authority at least 1 month before commencement of manufacture, 2 months before commencement of manufacture, 3 months before commencement of manufacture, or 4 months before commencement of manufacture. The correct answer is 2 months before commencement of manufacture. Bonded laboratory will require service of excise officer, officer in charge, drug inspector, none of the above. The correct answer is excise officer. The working hours of non-bonded laboratory are fixed by drug inspector, officer in charge, excise commissioner, or none of the above. The correct answer is excise commissioner. Finished medicinal and toilet products can be stored in jars or bottles containing not less than 1000 ml, 1273 ml, 2000 ml, 2273 ml. The correct answer is 2273 ml. The preparations ready for issue may be filled in the container not less than 10 ml capacity, 30 ml capacity, 57 ml capacity, or 37 ml capacity. The correct answer is 57 ml capacity. The non-bonded manufacturing can be operated throughout the day, during sunrise and sunset, in the afternoon, or none of the above. The correct answer is during sunrise and sunset. From a bonded laboratory, preparations containing spirit are sent to the following for determination of alcohol strength: chemical examiner, government analyst, excise commissioner, or drug inspector. The correct answer is chemical examiner. Alcoholic preparations can be stored in a warehouse for a maximum period of 3 years, 7 years, 4 years, or 5 years. The correct answer is 3 years. A person who evades payment of excise duty is punishable with a fine up to 2,000 rupees, 100 rupees, 5,000 rupees, or 1,000 rupees. The correct answer in this case is 2,000 rupees. Moving to the last topic from this session, that is multiple choice questions based on Pharmacy Act 1948. As I have told you, I would be discussing about the multiple choice questions that are in Drug and Cosmetic Act in the next session. So we would be dealing with this last topic now. Pharmacy Act came into force on 1st April 1948, 4th March 1948, 4th April 1948, or 1st March 1948. The correct answer is 4th March 1948. Pharmacy Act was passed with the main object to control import of drugs, regulate the practice of pharmacy, raise the status of pharmacy in India, or both 2 and 3. Basic objectives of Pharmacy Act were to regulate the profession of pharmacy and to raise the status of pharmacy in India. Okay, so the answer in this case would be 2 and 3. Central Pharmacy Council is responsible for evolving education standards, regulation of diploma courses in pharmacy through education regulation, both 1 and 2, none of the above. The correct answer is both 1 and 2. State Pharmacy Council is responsible for registration of pharmacists, regulation of professional activities of registered pharmacists, both 1 and 2, none of the above. The correct answer is both 1 and 2. A person who on account of setting up of dominance of India and Pakistan, or on account of civil disturbances or fear of such disturbances in areas now forming a part of Pakistan, has on or after 1st March 1947 left or has been displaced from his place of residence in such area and who has since then been residing in India is called as displaced person, repatriate, registered medical practitioner, or registered pharmacist. That person is called as displaced person. See, any person who has left his original place of residence and he is residing in India and even he is carrying out his profession, he would be termed as a displaced person. Okay. It is not mandatory that the person must be of an Indian origin. So in this case, the displaced person would be the right answer. Any person of Indian origin who on account of civil disturbances in any areas now forming a part of Burma, Sri Lanka or Uganda or any other country has, after the 14th day of April 1957, left or has been displaced from his place of residence in such area and who has since then been residing in India is called as displaced person, repatriate, registered medical practitioner, or registered pharmacist. He is called as repatriate. See, in the previous slide, I told you that it is not mandatory for a person to be of Indian origin. But over here, you can see that the person must be of Indian origin. And then only he can be termed as a repatriate. Okay. Central Pharmacy Council was constituted under Section 1 of Chapter 3, Section 3 of Chapter 1, Section 1 of Chapter 1, or Section 3 of Chapter 3. The correct answer is Section 3 of Chapter 1. The Pharmacy Council of India is constituted by Parliament, Central Government, State Government, or Legislative Assembly. The correct answer is Central Government. Number of elected members in PCI are 6, 8, 10, 9. The correct answer is 8. You can just check out the details over here. You can see that there are 6 teachers, okay, 6 members from teaching faculty that are elected by UGC. 1 member is elected from Medical Council of India and 1 member is elected from State Pharmacy Council. So 6 plus 1 plus 1, that is totally 8 members. So this question can be asked. It is a bit tricky, so keep a watch over this. The number of nominated members in PCI are 7, 9, 11, or 13. The correct answer is 9. Again, you can check out the details over here. 6 members that are nominated by central government, 1 representative, each from UGC and AICT. So the count becomes 2, and 1 member nominated by state government. So 6 plus 2 is 8 and 1 is 9. So the correct answer for nominated members is 9. Number of ex officio members in PCI are 4, 7, 3, 2. The correct answer is 3. Ex officio members, who are those? Director General of Health Service, that is also DGHS, Drug Controller of India, DCI, or Director of Central Drug Laboratory, DCDL. Okay, so these are just for you to remember. Okay. The term of members, including president and vice president of PCI, is 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 4 years. The correct answer is 5 years. Executive committee is constituted by central government, state government, Central Pharmacy Council, or State Pharmacy Council. The correct answer is Central Pharmacy Council. The chairman of executive committee is or are ex officio members, president, vice president, or none of the above. The correct answer is president. President is the chairman of executive committee. Education regulation is formed under the provisions of Pharmacy Act, that is Section 1, Section 10, Section 11, or Section 4. The correct answer is Section 10. The education regulation is published in official gazette by State Pharmacy Council, State Government, Central Pharmacy Council, or Central Government. The correct answer in this case is Central Government. Number of hours required to complete practical training is, I discussed about it. We will just get a idea about it over here. 800 hours in 3 months, 500 hours in 5 months, 800 hours in 5 months, or 500 hours in 3 months. The correct answer is 500 hours in 3 months. Comments for revision, modification of education regulation from state government is considered within dash from the date of furnishing copies by Central Council. The options are 5 months, 3 months, 1 month, or 4 months. The correct answer in this case is 3 months. Any comments that you need to give, you must give it within 3 months from the date of furnishing copies by central government. Provisions for Farm D were made under Farm D Regulations 2009, Farm D Regulations 2007, Farm D Regulations 2008, or Farm D Regulations 2005. The correct answer is Farm D Regulations 2008. Choose the correct sequence for approval of institutions. Inspection, application, approval, or declaration. Application, inspection, approval, and declaration. Application, approval, inspection, and declaration, or none of these. The correct answer is application, inspection, approval, and declaration. You need to apply, then an inspector will come. He would just check out all the requirements. If he is satisfied, he would give the details about it to the higher authorities. They would be approving it. And once the institute is approved, then it would be declared in the official gazette. So the answer is application, inspection, approval, and declaration. Central Register is maintained under the provisions of Section 15A of Amendment Act 1976, Section 14A of Amendment Act 1976, Section 15B of Amendment Act 1976, or Section 14B of Amendment Act 1976. The correct answer is Section 15A of Amendment Act 1976. Pharmacy Council of India is also known as State Pharmacy Council, Executive Committee, Central Pharmacy Council, or none of the above. The correct answer is Central Pharmacy Council. Central Register is deemed to be a public document under Indian Evidence Act 1973, Indian Evidence Act 1872, Indian Evidence Act 1972, or Indian Evidence Act 1873. The correct answer is Indian Evidence Act 1872. Central Register for Pharmacists is maintained by Central Council, Central Government, State Council, or State Government. The correct answer is Central Council. State Pharmacy Council is constituted under Chapter Dash of Pharmacy Act. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, or Chapter 4. The correct answer is Chapter 3 of Pharmacy Act. Joint State Pharmacy Council is constituted under Section 10, 20, 30, or 40. The correct answer is Section 20. Joint State Pharmacy Council is Section 20. Number of copies of register supplied by State Pharmacy Council to Central Council is 3, 5, 7, 4. The correct answer is 5. The copies of register are submitted to Central Pharmacy Council soon after 1st January, 1st March, 1st April, or 1st June. The correct answer is 1st April of each year. Number of elected members in State Pharmacy Council are 3, 7, 5, or 9. The correct answer is 7. You can see the elected members over here, 6 registered pharmacists and 1 member from State Medical Council. Joint State Pharmacy Council is constituted for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, or definite or indefinite period? The correct answer is definite or indefinite period. It depends on the states that are into collaboration, and it would be termed as definite or indefinite period. Pharmacy Act provides for registration of pharmacists under chapter 1, 2, 3, or 4. The correct answer is chapter 4 for registration of pharmacist. For preparing first register, state government constitutes State Pharmacy Council, Joint State Pharmacy Council, Registration Tribunal, or Registration Body. The correct answer is Registration Tribunal. Secretary for Registration Tribunal is Registrar, Registered Pharmacist, Registered Medical Practitioner, Government Analyst. The correct answer is Secretary for Registration Tribunal is Registrar. Removal of name of a registered pharmacist from the register can be removed by an order of Registration Tribunal, Pharmacy Council of India, State Pharmacy Council, or Executive Committee. The correct answer is Executive Committee. Any person aggrieved by decision of Registration Tribunal implied in published register has dash days to appeal: 30 days, 15 days, 60 days, or 90 days. The correct answer is 60 days. After removal of name from register of a person may appeal to the state government within dash days: 40 days, 30 days, 60 days, or 15 days. The correct answer is 30 days. A person who falsely claims to be a registered pharmacist is punishable on first conviction with imprisonment for 6 months, fine of 500 rupees, imprisonment for 6 months and fine, or fine of 1000 rupees. The correct answer is fine of 500 rupees. A person who falsely claims to be a registered pharmacist is punishable with dash on second conviction: imprisonment for 6 months and fine up to 500 rupees, imprisonment for 6 months and fine up to 1000 rupees, imprisonment for 6 months or fine up to 500 rupees or both, or imprisonment for 6 months or fine up to 1000 rupees or both. The correct answer is imprisonment for 6 months or fine up to 1000 rupees or both. If a person who is dispensing drugs is unregistered pharmacist, he is punishable with a fine of 1000 rupees or imprisonment up to 3 months or fine of 1000 rupees or both, imprisonment up to 6 months or fine of 1000 rupees or both, or imprisonment up to 6 months or fine of 500 rupees or both. The correct answer is imprisonment up to 6 months or fine up to 1000 rupees or both. Failure to surrender certificate is punishable with a fine of 10 rupees, 100 rupees, 50 rupees, or 500 rupees. The correct answer is 50 rupees, 50 rupees. The duration of PharmD course is 1 year, 3 years, 6 years, or both 2 and 3. The correct answer is both 2 and 3. So these are the references from where I have tried to prepare MCQs that might be beneficial for students in the upcoming exams, as well as these can be useful for competitive exams as like GPAT. So you can go through these 2 books, Forensic Pharmacy by Dr. B.S. Kuchekar, sir, and Pharmaceutical Jurisprudence by Dr. B.S. Kuchekar, sir. So you can go through these books for more details. And if you have any queries, you can write to me at patilpradeep19@yahoo.com. Thank you.